let's be real. Think about the last time you were scrolling online and saw a political argument. And I don't mean a thoughtful disagreement. I mean the absolute worst, most infuriating example of the other side. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's always that one protester, right? The one with the most ridiculous sign screaming something that almost nobody actually believes. Or, it's that totally unhinged tweet from some random anonymous account that somehow gets screenshotted and shared a million times. Or maybe it's that single outrageous clip completely ripped from its context, just perfectly engineered to make your blood boil. We are bombarded with this stuff constantly. But what if this isn't just random noise? What if it's all by design? What if the whole point was never to convince you, but to very deliberately swap out an entire group of people in your mind with their most extreme, most unrepresentative members? Okay, so let's get into this. We're about to break down one of the most effective and frankly dishonest propaganda techniques out there today. And the crazy part is, it's a trick that's hiding in plain sight. And look, this isn't just about capital P politics. You see this everywhere, in arguments about religion, about different ideologies. It's the engine of the culture wars. It's basically what fuels almost every single social media outrage cycle. And it works so well because it's simple and it targets a specific weakness in how our brains are wired. So let's pull back the curtain. Let's give this manipulation a name and break down exactly how it works. Because once you can name it, you start seeing it everywhere. So here's the switcheroo. A real, honest argument would engage with, typical voters, mainstream views, and the common motivations people have. But this trick, it doesn't do that. It just substitutes all of that with the loudest voices, the angriest people, and the most ridiculous caricature it can possibly find, and then it pretends that's the real argument. The formal name for this little maneuver is extreme case substitution. It's the technique of hunting down the absolute worst, most fringe version of what your opponents believe, and then arguing against that as if it represents millions of people. So you see, the entire target of the debate gets swapped out. And the consequence of this is huge. You're not having a good faith debate with actual human beings anymore. You're not even close. You're just fighting a straw man, a cartoon character that's been specifically designed for you to hate. So why on earth does this work so well? Well, because it's not just a political trick, it's a psychological one. It's designed to hack the very wiring of your brain. Here's the three-step combo that gets us. First, extremes are just way more memorable. Our brains are hardwired to notice threats and feel outrage. A single shocking clip sticks in your head way better than 100 normal, boring ones. Second, our brains are generalizing machines. We see one vivid, crazy example, and we automatically assume it represents the whole group, even if it's a total outlier. And third, and this is the real kicker, emotion shortcuts our reason. The second you feel that jolt of anger or fear, your critical thinking just shuts down. You stop asking, hey, wait, is this typical? And you start thinking, wow, these people are dangerous. And right at that moment, the whole game changes. Persuasion is completely off the table. The real goal, whether it's conscious or not, becomes dehumanization. It's about making the other side seem like monsters, not just people who are wrong. So the big question is, how do we defend ourselves? How can we actually spot this propaganda out in the wild before it hijacks our emotions? Well, it turns out there's a pretty simple 4-question checklist you can use. So next time you see a post or a clip that gets you all fired up, just pause for a second and ask yourself, 1, is this an obviously extreme example? 2, is whoever's sharing it presenting it like it's totally normal for that group? 3, are all the moderate or ordinary voices completely missing from this picture? And 4, is this argument really appealing to my logic, or is my emotion doing all the heavy lifting here? If you find yourself answering yes to most or all of those questions, then you've got your answer. You're not looking at some kind of real analysis of an issue. You are the target of a propaganda campaign. Simple as that. Once you get good at spotting this trick, something really powerful starts to happen. You begin to shift your entire perspective on the fire hose of information you see every day. You stop taking the bait. You stop participating in the outrage cycle. You stop asking the question they want you to ask, which is always, who's worse? Instead, you pull back and you start asking a much, much smarter question. Who benefits from this?
And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. Who benefits from me seeing the other side not as people I happen to disagree with, but as some monstrous caricature? Who profits, politically, financially, socially, from my anger and my fear? Just asking that one simple question is the first and most powerful step you can take to reclaim control of your own perspective.